Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today we will discuss the topic of ovarian neoplasm. Here you are shown the normal histology of an ovary. See, an ovarian tissue, it is lined by the germinal epithelium, and inside it there is abundant cortical stroma. And these rounded structures, these are the ovarian follicles, the primary follicles with the oocytes here, oocyte nucleus, the primordial follicles. So this is whole the normal. So how and from where the ovarian tumors originate? There are three locations. From outermost layer, that is the surface epithelium. This is the surface epithelium through which the ovarian tumors, that we say the surface epithelial tumors, these arise. What are the various types of that surface epithelial tumors of the ovary? These are serous tumors, mucinous tumors, endometrioid tumors, clear cell tumors, and transitional cell tumors. So this is the list of surface epithelial tumors that arise from the surface of the ovary. Then from the stroma and from the sex cord, the tumors that arise from the ovary, these are named as sex cord stromal tumors. These include granulosa cell tumors, thecomas, fibromas, Sertoli cell tumors, and Sertoli Leydig cell tumors. So these are all the tumors that are associated with the sex cord and stromal elements. Then is the third type of ovarian tumors that arise from the germ cells, and these tumors are categorized as dysgerminoma, yolk sac tumors, embryonal carcinomas, choriocarcinomas, and teratomas. So this is the whole classification of the ovarian tumors, my dear students. Now we take a start. First of all, we will take up the start with the non-neoplastic functional cysts that are very commonly seen in the ovarian tissue. These are follicular cysts that are usually less than 5 centimeter. These are benign and asymptomatic small cysts that are thin-walled and they contain clear. Next are the corpus luteal cysts. They may show hemorrhage within these, so we call these cysts as hemorrhagic luteal cysts. So the cyst, it is filled with blood along with the normal or frequently seen follicular cysts. So when we see the corpus luteal cysts which are filled with blood, we say that these are the hemorrhagic luteal cysts. Then some other cysts that are related to the granulosa theca lutein structures. So these cysts are also seen along with the molar pregnancy or as part of the hyperstimulation syndrome. Then another commonly seen ovarian disease that we call as Steen-Leventhal syndrome or polycystic ovarian disease, in which we find multiple fluid-filled bilateral ovarian cysts. Then another cyst is endometriotic cysts. That is the cyst or cystic structure that is formed within the ovary, and it comprises of endometriotic tissue. Now we come to the primary ovarian tumors. First of all are the epithelial tumors. As we discussed, the epithelial tumors, all of the epithelial tumors like serous, like mucinous, clear cell tumors, Brenner tumors, transitional cell tumors, these are all either benign, borderline, or malignant tumors. Then germ cell tumors and sex cord tumors. First of all, we will discuss epithelial tumors. The most common epithelial tumors arising from the ovary is named as serous tumor. So serous tumors, these are again categorized as serous benign tumors, borderline tumors, and malignant tumors. So the benign tumors of the serous morphology, these are named as serous cyst adenomas because they form the cystic structure. So these are named as serous cyst adenomas. And the tumors that are borderline, they are named as borderline serous tumors. And the third category is the malignant serous tumors. So these are named as serous cyst adenocarcinomas. Similar for mucinous tumors, like and for endometrioid we will discuss on serous tumors. All the serous tumors, mostly the benign, they contain clear fluid. You may find sometimes hemorrhagic fluid, but most commonly they contain clear fluid. Often they are bilateral and they are usually found around the age of menopause. And their malignant type, that is serous cyst adenocarcinoma, is the commonest ovarian cancer. Here you are shown the benign serous tumor that is named as serous cyst adenoma. This is a ball-like structure, a thin-walled ball-like structure that is filled with clear fluid. This is the histological picture of that serous cyst adenoma. You can see single-lined cells. These are serous cells. What are serous cells? These are the cells that are cuboidal epithelial cells and they have ciliated. This is ciliated epithelium. That is, they have cilia. They are provided with the cilia. So ciliated cuboidal type of epithelium, and these epithelial cells, they show single lining, and you can see there is no invasion in it. So it is benign tumor. Similarly here, a cyst that is lined by single lining of the serous type of epithelium. Again here, this is the stroma and single lining of the serous epithelium. Now we come to the borderline tumors. Borderline tumors are the tumors that are neither considered to be benign nor malignant. So these are the middle type of tumors. So what is the characteristic feature of these tumors? Grossly, you will see such type of configuration. You can say papillary configuration, but you will not find invasive or infiltrative pattern. Here we come to the histological finding of the borderline tumor. So the difference between benign ovarian tumor and a borderline ovarian tumor is that the borderline ovarian tumor, it shows stratification of the epithelial cells. What do we mean by stratification? Stratification means that the number of layers of the epithelial cells increase. That we say multi-layering. That is, the epithelial cells, here you can also see, this is the stroma that is not infiltrative, and the lining cells, they show papillary structure somewhere, and these at focal areas, they show, here you can see the focal areas, they show stratification and papillary configuration. So the main differentiating feature between the benign and the borderline ovarian tumor is that the borderline tumor, it shows stratification of the epithelial cells along with the findings of atypia. You may find atypical change, that is, you may find hyperchromatism, you may find mitotic activity, atypical mitotic activity, you may find pleomorphism of the cells that are lining these cystic structures, and they are showing papilla, but they will never be infiltrative or they will never be invasive. So this is the borderline tumor.